energy here is unreal. Builders, investors, creators, all under one roof. Guys, this is what's happening behind the scenes at the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. Most people only see the final video on YouTube or social media, but they don't see everything happening in the background.
Michael Saylor. Michael, please come out.
Possible, and you inspire me every day, so thank you. I'm appreciative to be on the journey with you all.
Day 3. So today is going to be very interesting. Yesterday was Michael Saylor, as you saw. So today is going to be a lot of interesting talks. It's Altcoin Daily. Let's go around and see who we can meet this morning. Hi guys, that was amazing. We had a quick interview with Aaron from Altcoin Daily. I can't believe it. Hi.
Hey, this is Aaron from Altcoin Daily on YouTube and Twitter. What are people missing right now in Bitcoin and crypto? I think these rock bottom prices. I mean, could it go lower? Yeah, it could. But I think after this year, or maybe at the end of this year, we'll make an all-time high. I mean, famous last words, but I'm a believer.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Happiness in life.
So what is this again?
My business card.
Wow!
So, here you go.
Okay, thank you. Guys, this is the business card. Guys, let's go. Eric Trump is next. Let's go.
Adding on top of that, they're adding yield strategies on top of that. Then you look at what Michael Saylor's doing, and he's a dear friend and doing a phenomenal job. You look at what Simon and Metaplanet's doing a phenomenal job. You look at what 21 Capital is doing. Guys, they are buying and they are not selling. You look at what I'm doing in American Bitcoin mining. We are mining and we are not selling. We believe in the asset. You look at all the companies, how they're growing their Bitcoin treasuries. You look at private companies like the Trump Organization, how we're treasuring Bitcoin because we believe in it as an asset class. We are compressing Bitcoin. There is a limited supply, and that limited supply, as much as we like to throw around 21 billion, it's not 21 billion. People have lost it, but beyond that, people are not selling it, people are holding it.
Here I'm asking Mark Moss, what would you advise someone starting new in Bitcoin?
What would you say to someone starting new, like on Bitcoin? What would you advise them?
One, think long term. Think at least 4 years, but hopefully longer, 8 years, 10 years out. 2, buy regularly over long periods of time. 3, learn as much as you can, because you have to build your own conviction. You can't borrow someone else's.
Amazing, perfect. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Asked Adam Back at the Bitcoin conference Las Vegas 2026, with institutional investors coming in, has Bitcoin stayed true to the cypherpunk's vision? And that was his answer. Bitcoin hasn't changed. Institutions coming in, that's just adoption. It depends how people use it.
You know, while people are looking at Bitcoin as sovereign money, like permissionless global money, self-sovereign, that's one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is the traditional money manager. So I think that the institutional adoption of those kinds is gaining confidence on the de-risking that they perceive arising from establishment approval indicators.
asking one of MicroStrategy representatives to explain to us what STRC is and what's the benefit of holding it.
Yeah, absolutely. So STRC is a perpetual preferred equity instrument listed on NASDAQ security, and it basically pays out right now 11.5% annualized, paid out monthly. And the idea is a lot of pools of capital like the juicy returns of Bitcoin, and they see the value of it and don't believe it's going to zero, but they just cannot stomach some of that volatility. And so what STRC does is it strips out a lot of that volatility. It stays at around $100 and pays out 11.5% currently per year. So it's as simple as that. You can access it through any common brokerage, Robinhood, Fidelity, Schwab, and there's no lockups, no minimums, and it can be traded anytime during market hours.
Thank you so much.
Guys, before this video starts, I want to introduce you to Colonel Chou, someone I met at the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. We spoke about how he got into Bitcoin, his libertarian views, and why he believes in financial freedom. He'll actually be joining the channel soon, but here's what he told us.
In order to bail out the Wall Street banks. And I had a visceral reaction to it and thought, this is wrong. What he said was that we had to suspend principles of free market in order to save free market. And I thought, no, that can't be right. But I couldn't explain why. So I sought to learn more and study and read and came across Mises Institute, which led me to Austrian economics. And in that journey, I learned about 1832 when Andrew Jackson did not renew the charter for the Second Bank of the United States. And from 1832 to 1913, we didn't have a central bank in the U.S. But in 1910, Senator Aldrich Nelson, along with his interests from J.P. Morgan Chase and Paul Warburg and all others, they met in Jekyll Island and crafted this document that eventually became the Reserve Act of 1913. And the Federal Reserve is a central bank. And what do banks do? They lend money to borrowers. What do borrowers need to have? Well, they need to have collateral. Well, incidentally, or maybe coincidentally, the 16th Amendment was passed the same year, in 1913. And the 16th Amendment gave the federal government power to levy income taxes on American citizens. Why, that's the best form of collateral that you can have for a bank. And so from there, the central bank grew, and I learned about the confiscation of gold in 1933 by FDR. I think many Americans remember that. And the fine for not turning your gold bullion was $10,000 or 10 years in jail. The exception was if you had collectibles, numismatic gold, then you can keep that. And in 1944, or 1941-ish, when we were fighting World War II, we funded our war effort by selling war bonds. And Americans invested in their country in order to fight this war, and which the U.S. government paid back. And of course, in 1944, we established a Bretton system with our allies, and the allies said, with dollar based in gold, dollar is as good as gold. Therefore, dollar became the reserve currency of the world, which is priceless for Americans. And I love it because it allows America to become the global hegemon, which is great for us. And it's not necessarily fair. And so, the French president and the French finance minister also said that was an exorbitant privilege that America has to be the reserve currency of the world. In the 50s and 60s, we fought additional wars, and then we did not use war bonds to pay for those wars, but we simply printed dollars. And the French were getting antsy, as did the Swiss. So they started repatriating their gold from the U.S. reserves into their own states. And in 1971, you can Google this, and you'll find a French frigate in the New York harbor repatriating their gold from the Federal Reserve Bank in New York. And that's pretty cool to see a French frigate in the New York harbor. So in that journey, I eventually came across a paper that talked about Bitcoin. This is 2011. And so I thought, why, this is the perfect form of medium of exchange or money. And so I saw it looking forward and bought a bunch in 2011 for about $12 or so. Then I got caught up in Mount Gox, put everything into it, traded and all, and then they lost it. And after, over a decade, after the class action lawsuit, I think I got returned about 15% of it, which is just a few, but enough to make me smile. And so along that journey, as I retired from the U.S. Air Force, I thought, well, shoot, I'm an immigrant from Taiwan, and I was able to be adopted as a son of America, of the daughters or the sons of the American Revolution, right? And so I thought, you know, I've served this adopted country of mine for 32 years in the military. I can serve it more by starting this nonprofit to reignite America's love affair with principles of liberty. And liberty, in my mind, is a three-legged stool. It consists of faith, and economics, and also our civic duty. And of course, I'm here at the Bitcoin conference for the economic side of it, because a sound money is indispensable to the uprighting of the stool. And when any of these legs degrade or get shortened, then that stool or liberty will be toppled over. And so I want to help engage Americans to think not only Bitcoin as a wealth mechanism, but as a means to liberty, because it does a few things. It constrains government. The sound money system constrains government from wantonly spending money that they don't have, that we don't have. You know, like in 1941, we fought the war and we had to borrow money from American citizens to fight the war. But when that limitation was lifted from us, then we were able to spend money on wars and more wars. And so I think that would have a good effect. The second effect is that it would allow us to save, and that what we save today will also be useful tomorrow. I remember telling my wife back in 1996 that, honey, I would be happy earning $50,000 a year for the rest of my life. If I still earn that much today, we would be on welfare. We would be in the poorhouse. And that's not because I've gotten worse in my money-making ability, but government has become more effective in debasing or demolishing our medium of exchange over time. Anyway, that's plenty long enough for now. Is that good?
Yeah, thank you so much, Chou, for sharing your journey with us. I hope this will spread the word from our channel and social media. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Lamia.